Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of On the Table. Christmas? Well, that's fast approaching, and if, like us, you still have a few spaces left on your list to Santa, then perhaps some of these goodies in this show might be enough to pique your interest. If not, remember you can check out a whole plethora more over at beastsofwar.com. And while you're at it, you can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and even watch us live on Twitch TV. Studio McVeigh have released this enormous limited edition RHINOMAN model that goes by the name of Jim. No, it's Khador. Over twice the height of your standard heroic scale model, this huge warrior would make a fantastic showpiece model, fit to grace any shelf or even a fantasy army. Limited to just 750 castings, Khador is just one of a number of limited edition models Studio McVeigh has created over the years. You saw Azumi last time on the show, but here are a few more from the Studio McVeigh repertoire. With War Machine, Wrath and Horde's domination now behind us, it's time for the guys at Privateer Press to start knocking out the miniatures we need to update our armies with all the cool new models announced in the new books. First up is Trollkin War Wagon, a massive ironclad carriage bearing a thunderous turret gun capable of knocking even massive warjacks to the ground. Next up we have the Battle Mechanic Officer. He's got himself a suit of that kick-ass man of war armour and a mad steam wrench to bash his opponents or repair those warjacks. If you're a fan of the new Super Dungeon Explorer board game, then you know you've got to keep all those bits safe somehow. Well, worry no longer. The guys at Battle Foam have created this new set of Super Dungeon Explorer protective foam. The set fits inside the Super Dungeon Explorer box and is custom cut to fit all of those individual models, cards and dice. But not only that, for fans of Heavy Gear Blitz, there's this fun new cool Velcro patch to add to your Heavy Gear Battle Foam bag. With the demise of the trailblazing French company Rackham, the fantastic Confrontation range of miniatures was thought to be lost, with select miniatures turning up on eBay and changing hands for considerable sums. However, the Confrontation range was recently thrown a lifeline by the good folks at CoolMiniorNot, who have begun to resurrect the fantastic metal Rackham models in glorious modern resin. But now, Confrontation is not only coming back to the tabletop, but also to a computer screen near you. As you can see from the trailer, things are starting to look interesting for the Confrontation IP.
War rages everywhere across Arklash. In this, the final confrontation, the Ragnarok. Peoples tear each other to pieces in the name of light, destiny, or darkness. Heroes gather their armies under banners bearing such symbols as the wolf, jackal, the griffin, or the scorpion. These heroes accomplish valiant feats of arms.
If the trailer for the game has got you all hot under the collar, then feast your eyes on the brand new Confrontation Dragon from CoolMiniorNot. It has often been argued that the Confrontation sculpt was one of, if not the best dragons ever made. Well, so far at least. But this comes as no surprise when you consider the quality of the other sculpts in the Confrontation range. Kabuki models are well known for their range of exotic sci-fi knights, the Knights of Legend. The Knights of Legend are each sculpted in resin and would be suitable as proxies for either Space Marines or for an epic game of gothic sci-fi near you. These sculpts are top end and certainly aimed at the collector rather than the everyday gamer. But it's Christmas, so you may want to treat yourself. And if you really want to indulge yourself, then check out the limited edition Christmas box that contains all the current Knights of Legend. Zulus. Thousands of them. You've seen the film, now you can transport that fateful scene from the silver screen to your tabletop, courtesy of Warlord Games. The Rorke's Drift set comes with the storehouse and hospital, as well as 20 British line troops and 40 Zulus, plus all the barricades and wagons you need to make a truly sensational experience. Of course, if that's not enough Zulus for you, then you can always get more boxes from the Warlord Games website. You can even get some of the British troops too. But I think that constitutes cheating. New from Infinity is this fantastic Hawwa sniper. The Hawwa is an elite skirmisher armed with a sniper rifle and payload of anti-personnel mines, designed to launch a surprise attack on the enemy with devastating results. And if you've always fancied trying out a game of Infinity but you can't get your head around the rulebook, then why not try out our Infinity Quick Start rules? You and a friend can easily indulge yourself in the unique Infinity universe, and all you need are a few 20-sided dice, 3 Infinity miniatures aside, don't worry, we won't tell if you proxy them, and a sense of adventure. Fantasy Goblins and Dwarves are always in demand, so check out these sets of diminutive miniatures from White Knight. Some of the most notable miniatures in the collection are the Dwarven Cavalry. While many game systems don't account for mounted dwarves, it's good to know that they are available, should you decide to create some homebrew rules for them. And if you have some mounted dwarves and rules, then why not send your ideas to submissions@beastsofwar.com. You never know, if the rules are good, we might just put them up on the website for everybody to enjoy. And in the process, make you a little bit famous. Next up, we have the latest Supreme from Pulp City, the sinister Shadowmask. He's a martial artist with a demonic face and a bad attitude to match. If you're a keen Pulp City player, then you better watch out for these new martial arts heroes, as we're told there are still more to come. Did someone say ninjas? Urban War is a squad-level skirmish game set around the planet Iskandria. Check out the new concept art for the latest additions to the game's primary factions. If you haven't seen the miniatures for Urban War, then take a look at these. Quick start rules for the game are available free on the Urban War website, as are all the stat cards for the different starter sets available for the game. There are also scenarios, templates, and an army builder, everything you need to get started with the game. Except miniatures, of course. But then, you can't have everything. It's great to see a new company join the industry, and these guys at Rogue Miniatures have launched with a set of agents and some familiar faces from a few films you might have seen. If you need some cool 28mm sci-fi soldiers, then take a look at these from Steel Crown Productions. The Royal Empire Markovian Conscripts are a new set that could easily form a squad of guardsmen for your game of 40k. The unit comes with a command model and 2 special weapons troops, using a flamethrower and a rocket launcher. There are also snipers available, both prone and, of course, taking aim. Coming to a game store near you, it's the Army Painter Painting Guide. Personally endorsed by Guru Rick Priestley, the guide will give you the lowdown on how to use Army Painter brand quick shade and sprays to develop a speedy painting style to get those armies onto the gaming table with a bit of panache, and not the grey plastic that is the scourge of the gaming world. If you're looking for more advice on painting, remember our staff artist RHINOMAN is always on hand to give you some hints and tips for the novice or even the advanced painter. Just follow the QR code on screen to our 3 Colours Up show for more details. Ruins are a staple of a wargaming table. From sci-fi to fantasy, you don't get far in most games without some collapsed buildings or the remains of an ancient temple. Manorhouse Workshop have a range of pre-painted scenery, the latest of which are these ruined sections of rubble and shattered columns. There's even a throne and a fireplace, if you fancied modelling a table that, was a bit more regal. Every orc needs a cool ride, and what better form of transport could your average greenskin ask for than a dune buggy? The guys over at Kromlech have produced this fun-looking vehicle aimed at expanding your orc army with some fabulous-looking fast attack options. Of course, if you're not an orc player, then the buggy would also be great for a post-apocalyptic game, or even some sort of light army transport for a desert-themed Imperial Guard list. Straight from the pre-heresy comes the armoured Proteus pattern Land Raider from Forge World. The fact that a Land Raider is an armoured vehicle, probably the toughest armoured vehicle in the 40k game, surely makes the armoured part of that name, well, a little bit redundant. Either way, this resin upgrade kit will allow your Land Raider model to fit in with any pre-heresy themed army of Space Marines. If you're looking for a cool bit of kit to help out your Imperial Guard, then you might like this rapier model. Fitted with some nifty laser weaponry, this mobile weapons platform might pack a punch, but something tells me it's not going to last too long once your opponent realizes what it's capable of. If you're a fan of your 15mm World War II games, then check out the latest releases from Forged in Battle. The 15mm scale lends itself to epic-sized battles with truckloads of tanks, ranks of big guns, and legions of soldiers. Which is lucky, as that's the size of a game that Forged in Battle cater for. So if it's the Allies or the Axis that float your boat, then I'm sure these guys will have something in their range that would be perfect for your army. If ancient battles are your thing, then the news that Warlord Games has acquired Immortal miniatures should be great news indeed for you. Immortal miniatures are the maker of one of the best sets of plastic ancient Greek warriors on the market. So if you're a player of Warlord's Hail Caesar game system, then you could soon be adding a large section of Greeks to your Roman and Celt collection. If you play Romans, you might also be interested in these brand new slingers hot off the presses from Warlord HQ. If you're a fan of Terry Pratchett's Discworld, then MicroArt Studio have just released their latest Discworld miniature, the rather underdressed Captain Vimes. Armed with the notoriously explosive swamp dragon, Captain Samuel Vimes of the Night Watch is prepared to bring miscreants to justice at any time. Well, that about wraps it up for another episode. I hope you've seen some cool stuff that you can ask Santa for. So we'll not be back now until our special New Year episode, which is going to be a roundup of all of the year's gaming, and that'll be coming to you on the 29th of December. Until then, of course, you've been watching On the Table. Much love.